Yo, it's Easy the King. I'm back. It's been a while. I just showed y'all a little earlier, the little setup to the little video. I got a nice little spot I just put together real quick. Nothing major. It's just temporary. I just had to get a better spot from what I've been having. And don't adjust your cameras. I got it toned down to this little greenish on purpose for the purposes of my video today. So don't trip. Other videos gonna be normal. But I might throw a little color in here and there. Whatever video I'm doing, it might have that color palette or color theme. Like if I do some Freddy, I might have some reddish background. But without further ado, let me introduce what I'm doing. This is a countdown of Jigsaw's 5 apprentices, ranked worst to first. Now, with this franchise, you know it starts with this one, number 1. My point is, I did an in-depth analysis on Jigsaw, John Kramer. And in that 20-30 minute documentary I did about him, you hear me saying he accumulated a lot of apprentices throughout the franchise for different several reasons, and they all had their causes and effects, plus and minuses. But without further ado, I'm gonna kick this off, and I'm gonna let y'all know real quick. This countdown is not like a personal favoritism type of list for me. Like, okay, I like this person more, so I'm going to rank them higher. This is abilities. The trap they may have got out to get into Jigsaw's graces. The way they went through traps, and how good was they close to his philosophy. Because as I said, all of them take his philosophy and remix it into their own particular brand of torture. And like and subscribe. Easy the King. Comment. Let me know. YouTube, my algorithm ain't been good because y'all ain't been fucking with me. Now hit me up. Hit me on social media too. Facebook, Zach King. YouTube, Easy the King. I'm out here. I don't got Twitter or Instagram yet. I'm going to get on that next. I'm just waiting until I build up my fan base to even go that far. I don't need it if ain't nobody watching anyway. But let's get to it. I'm going to check my notes here and there like I always do because I'm in a different set, so I'm going to have to look different spots now. This countdown is 5, like I said, 5 apprentices. And we're going to kick this off with number 5. Jill Tuck. I don't have a lot of admiration for this character or actor, you know what I'm saying, because she got the role basically because she was dating one of the producers. I don't mind nepotism if it works out, like Brad Dourif's daughter in the Child's Play franchise. I thought that was nepotism, but she turned out to be a staple of the franchise and a contributing factor, so I take that out. But this is just pure nepotism because she can't act. She a pretty face, but Jill Tuck is basically, I'm going to give a little backstory because I'm not doing real characters who portray them. I'm doing only the Jigsaw in movie personalities. Jill Tuck is Jigsaw's wife. They had a good life together until the night that changed both of their lives when Cecil smashed her stomach in because she was pregnant and to deliver a baby within the next month. He messed her up. She had a miscarriage and her life was different and John's too. Throughout the years and months of John transforming from John Kramer to Jigsaw, she was seeing subtle changes, but she wasn't really like deep into like his philosophy. She was trying to stop him. She kind of knew what he was doing, but without proof, she just was like letting it slide until he started presenting facts and stuff to her to where it was irreversible in her mind to join his cause. She 5 because she more of a damsel in distress. She wasn't putting traps together. She wasn't kidnapping. She wasn't stalking. She was only doing minor things to help the gang of bandits achieve their goals and get out of the situations. But she wasn't like Amanda or Hoffman or, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Gordon sewing people up. She just was doing background secondary work. She was doing the kind of work, in my opinion, where you can get like a Abby. You can kidnap Abby or a Zep and make them do some of the things that Jill did. You know what I'm saying? You can force one of your test subjects to complete submissions for you. That's why I look at Jill as 5. Moving on. Number 4. Now I gotta preface this, because all 4 of these people, besides Jill, in my opinion, you can make a case, because I know I could, making the list and writing this out. You can make a case for every last one of these next 4 to be in number 1, or switching the order however you want. I know everybody who is a Saw fan knows Jill was the weakest apprentice, without a debate. But these 4 can be different depending on the Jigsaw fan, or favoritism to a character they may like. But I got number 4 for me, Logan Nelson. And I'm a justify everything about this why it could be 4 and 1. I think this could be 1 because Logan Nelson is still strictly alive in the Jigsaw universe. He never was captured by the police or murdered or nothing, caught in a trap and nothing like Hoffman. He's alive, well, and kicking. He got a daughter living a normal life. For all we know, he could be doing traps in a future movie in the future when they come out. Because the Chris Rock one just came out. That's Saw 9, I think, but Saw 8 left off with Logan's Nelson story. So they can kick a story off with him where he right back at it. That's what I'm saying. He's still alive, kicking and well. That's why he could be number 1. Logan also, to me, is a badass because he was a Iraq medic where he was, you know what I'm saying, people getting wounded, you know, a U.S. war medic where they, you know, they doing their job, helping people who wounded, woo woo. But after that experience, he ended up joining the army and did some tours in Iraq. During these tours, he got captured and ended up killing 3 rebels who captured him. That messed his mind up so much, they had to discharge him. And he just went to being a civilian medical examiner for the dead. But when he was put in the test, Jigsaw, well, I said this in the documentary before, this is one of the few tests where Jigsaw tests malfunction. And so he had to save Logan or he would have died. And patched him up. The way he did Gordon when he cut the leg off and he patched Gordon up and kept him. When he do that kind of things, it builds admiration for some reason, like a Stockholm syndrome. So Logan could be 1 technically. And if you had him 1 on your list, I wouldn't even debate it because he's a bad motherfucker. And I like him. He just didn't get a continuous of the movie. And I also like Eleanor for some reason, the Jigsaw fanatic. I like that movie a lot, but they just like didn't keep it up. They could come back with it or not. Anyway, go. He number 4. Number 3. This right here. Again, I can justify him for being 3 and for being 1. And it's Detective Hoffman. Detective Hoffman, to me, would have been Jigsaw's, you know what I'm saying, probably prototypical type of accomplice he would like, because this is an accomplice who can do your job for you when he was sick, Jigsaw, but he also got the ins and outs of police and criminals. He can get police files, he can get criminal files, so anything you need, legal, illegally, he can get. From, if you looking for somebody, he can find home addresses, last known addresses. So he can be a hell of an accomplice. And I think if he didn't get bloodthirsty and too aggressive with the victims, even though we all want him to die, like Hoffman said, if he would have showed more compassion, even if he didn't mean it, just compassion in John's eye till John died, he could have went out perfectly and it wouldn't have had a need to do on what happened to him. By the way, spoilers for the series. I know I'll be forgetting sometimes. Spoilers for all these, because it was a moment I was just going to say something, I didn't want to say it because in case you didn't see it, it would have been a spoiler. But spoilers for the whole franchise. What I mean by what I was going to say is, if he would have kept his temper in control, it would have never had the need to have Dr. Gordon following him and making sure he's straight with Jill or anything with the games. Now we get to his brutality, because this was something that Jigsaw never implied that he was ever for. Even though he torturing the hell out of people, he did it in his mind as a humane way. So he didn't like that about Hoffman. All of his apprentices, to me, besides Logan Nelson, that's the only apprentice he had where I feel in my heart that he respected. Like, after he got him out the trap, he realized the brain cancer thing was a mistake, switching the John had the brain tumor and he gave the wrong information to the wrong x-ray. So he felt like this is a real war veteran. He a good guy. But I'm getting all off the track with that one. I'm just saying, Hoffman was one of those guys who I think would have been prototypically perfect for John if he would have kept his temper in control. Now we get to number 2. And this is Amanda Young. And like I said with Logan and Jill, she and who I just went through, Lieutenant Detective Mark Hoffman, they all had professions. Like Jill was the Homeward Bound Clinic director, which is a rehab clinic for drug addicts. I said Logan Nelson was an award and a medical examiner. And I said Hoffman was a lieutenant and a detective. He was a cop for like 25 years. This is the first apprentice he had who was a nobody. She didn't have a profession. Amanda Young was a junkie. Man, I thought we could say early 30s, going nowhere in life. You know what I'm saying? John came across her at the Homeward Bound Clinic in which she was going crazy, and he talked to her like, what's up with her? She kinda out of it. Jill looked at John like, man, she a lost cause. I've been trying my hardest with her. She like my test subject to try to rehabilitate and get her clean. But she can't. She's just a drug addict. So John put her in a reverse bear trap in which Logan helped design. And that changed her life. It was like her coming to you know what I'm saying, pass, or coming to a religious what's the word I'm looking for? Crossroad, I should say. Where she, after she beat her test, John approached her in her house and told her, join the dark side. You will never have to worry about no decision you ever make in your life again. You come with me, you donate your life to me, and we finna torture the hell out of people the rest of the way. Everything would have been perfect. And I think, like I said, I feel he respected Logan Nelson the most out of all of his apprentices, as a man and as a person. But I think his baby, not sexually, but just like his baby, like his pet project, was Amanda. Because she was the most controllable from her past and not being like a cop or law enforcement or up in a community or somebody special or to be revered. She was the lowest of the lowest. So she had nothing to do but be a sponge to John. And as you see through the movies, she learned all his techniques. She learned how to build traps. She learned how to be an engineer. Her own problem was she got so used to the method of Jigsaw, she started feeling like arrogant in a way. Like, Jigsaw finna damn die in a few weeks or a month. So when he died, it's clear I'm taking over. It was sort of a debate between her and Hoffman, but it was clear in Saw 3 when they talking over that one scene where Jill come in and they all talking over they doing the rat, they setting up the rat trap. And he like, why you adjusting stuff? Amanda like, why you adjusting stuff? We set it up how we supposed to be. He like, I'm just making last minute repairs. Jigsaw like, fam, don't do that without telling us. And he like, how many times I'm gonna have to tell y'all? Jigsaw like, as many times as it's gonna take. So that tells you the pecking order is Amanda is finna take over this shit. Now we know when John died, Hoffman probably would have found a way to kill Amanda because they didn't like each other. But the succession was Amanda was taking over, but she had a bloodlust similar to Hoffman, so he had to take her out in her final test. Now, because I ain't finna be dragging these out 20, 30 minutes just to do it and extra talk, hear myself talk. No, this shit almost over. It's only 15 minutes. Keep your attention. People ain't got attention spans anyway. I'm going to get you up out of here with the number 1. And I can say this is a little biased, even though I like the Amanda the most. But I got to say number 1. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. Coming in at number 1. Let me get a smoke break quick. Excuse me. Should I get a little shot? Cavassier? Busta Rhymes type shit? Stalling. Fuck it. Let's get to it. Number 1, my man, Dr. Gordon. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Like I said, for all these people, they all could have been ranked where I ranked them because I ranked them. Damn it, it's my list. But they all could have been number 1 in other lists, and I can accept it and understand it. Because I understand it myself personally. And I can justify it. But, choked up. Excuse me. Why I got number one for Dr. Gordon is because even though Hoffman got the police files and stuff like that, I feel like Dr. Gordon was the better espionage, and he not even a detective compared to Hoffman. I feel like he played the background way more. Now, I know John is the mastermind, keeping his apprentices away from each other, giving them information, what they should know, what he don't want them to know. He know everything that they know and don't know. He taught them everything they know, not everything he know. So, they didn't even know about Dr. Gordon. And I be thinking about that sometime as a like hindsight, a nitpick. When they was getting people keys sewed in them and eyes and mouths, you know what I'm saying, stitched shut, they damn sure couldn't have thought John was doing this. Like, who was they assuming did these particular traps? So that kind of is like a plot hole if you really want to dig deep into it. But overall, he had a cop. He had a medic with Logan. Like, he had a medic with Logan, but Logan was like on the low. He was like a safeguard. Like, if Dr. Gordon died or something, you could take over. Because Logan was like, that's what I said, he respected Logan and Morris. It was like, you can go do your thing. We done. But just stay in touch. But Dr. Gordon was his safety net for Jill. Like, you really overseeing Jill. You overseeing me. You my doctor. And you overseeing this damn Hoffman who going crazy. So Dr. Gordon had the medical aspect. He had the espionage, the planning. He was getting all of John teaches and rules and secrets that Hoffman didn't even know. Because he said, listen, you've been my greatest asset over the past few years. Without you, my work couldn't be complete. And if you see 3, 4, 5, 6, them particular movies had surgical hands put into him. He was the key to 3 or 4 movies behind the scenes. And then Saw 3D, which is Saw 7, those 2 dudes in the beginning who had fighting over the girl with the saw, them are his apprentices. You never seen an apprentice have apprentices. That's why I got Dr. Gordon at number 1. Now, Logan could potentially have apprentices. If he get another movie, I might revisit this countdown and make another one if another apprentice come out or he got an apprentice or something like that. But as of now, Dr. Gordon is still alive. Because like I said with Logan movie, he alive, well, and kicking. The same with Dr. Gordon. He locked Hoffman up in the bathroom. His last secret Jigsaw held from him. So, man, what can I say? Y'all know. I gotta do it one more time. When I seen this movie for the first time, I knew something special finna happen. And what I mean by that is, I'm finna be enthralled in these movies so much that it's gonna be sickening to a girlfriend of mine, a friend, my cousin. Because every time they come around me, I'm gonna be watching it. And that's how it's been since the movies came out. But that's it, man. Top 5 apprentices of John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. I'll be back with another video a little later. I told y'all earlier, I'm dropping 2 today just for the absent. ZZ the King, I'm out. Like and subscribe. ZZ.